Hello, everyone. I am Brendan,
I'm Sam.
and welcome to Our Life in Horror,
We're doing a movie
a
review.
movie review. But first, who sent you a super chat for your birthday? After the fact,
Alex Thorne Theater Reviews. Thank you to Alex out
thank
there.
you so much, Alex.
If he ever listens to this,
Yeah, throw
Yeah.
him a super chat or super clip.
Okay.
Super clips. That's what we're gonna call them.
Let's see. What do I want to play? I can't even really see what they are. I'm just gonna go with. Oh my god, this is.
Ramming speed!
I'll go with that.
Perfect. Yeah, I'm more than okay with that clip.
I know you are.
Yeah.
We are going to be putting out a video for channel members tomorrow, finally. We've been a little slow getting back into things since I've gotten back from my trip, and you're working a lot. So finally, we're dropping something tomorrow. We're going to be talking horror news.
Yeah, we talk news. We talk a couple trailers. We don't deep dive into the trailers. We also do our spoiler-free thoughts on Bring Her Back.
Yes, we did do some brief spoiler-free thoughts.
We did not get around to putting on a video on that.
We haven't had time.
I know.
We've been living at work, and this weekend you're finally off.
You've been living at work?
You.
Oh, okay.
You've been. You're off this weekend, which is nice, but we want to actually spend some time together, I guess.
Yeah, and he said get ready because it's about to go nuts.
Okay. So. Well, we're gonna go see Dangerous Animals tomorrow night, so hopefully we can actually get a review up for that this weekend.
Frick yeah.
Yeah. But yes, stay tuned, channel members. There is some horror news coming tomorrow.
Yeah.
But yeah, we've got our guests coming on.
Yeah, for 2017's. Are we saying it again?
Dead Ant.
Dead Ant.
I don't know. We didn't plan that.
No, we didn't.
Yeah. All right, let's bring on our friends. We have been collabing with them lots lately. Our last awesome. Collab was Transportation Horror over on Bitter Wolf's channel. So that was a lot of fun. And I feel like this is just going to be a collab that happens all the time going forward.
I love that idea.
Yep. Let's bring them on. Hey, guys.
Hello.
Hey, everybody.
Hi.
How's it going?
It's going fantastic. How are you guys?
Good. Happy that everyone is here. Before we start, we've got Mike and Serial and the Bitter Wolf. Do you guys want to talk about everything you're doing in the community channels, etc.?
Sure, Mike, you can go ahead.
Okay. I'm Mike and Serial, and I'm on a podcast called Rise from the Dead with two amazing co-hosts, Ash and Jeremy, where we talk about more underseen and older horror movies that you may not have watched or it's been a long time, and we just dissect and go over those movies. It's always a fun time. We're pushing out some newer episodes again, and I'm also on Voices from the Mausoleum. I do Found Footage Fridays with Angel, where we talk everything found footage, as well as moving forward, I'm going to start putting out some of my own content onto the channel. So that'll be exciting once I fine-tune the pieces that I want to do. And I also do a lot of content work for Found TV. That's me.
Awesome. You're doing it all.
Trying to.
He does so much. I was talking to Angel at Voices from the Mausoleum yesterday, and we were talking about how Mike has just blossomed in the last year. So it's really cool to see that.
Yeah, I agree.
And I am Isaiah Swanson. I run the Bitter Wolf. Bitter Wolf, we like to promote independent horror on my website, realbitterwolf.com. I have articles on there with movie commentary. Most of the time it's from other people these days, guest writers, and people who I am now starting to publish fiction on there in addition to movie commentary. So you'll find some of that coming out soon. On my YouTube channel, I do two main things. The Horror Mosaic is my main project on there, and that is profiles of people in the horror community. So you'll find Our Life in Horror on there. You'll find Mike and Serial on there, and plenty of others who you're familiar with. I have the Bitter Interviews, which is where I sit down with filmmakers, independent filmmakers in the horror community, and talk about their movies, one-on-one, and every now and then I gather together with my friends, Sam and Brendan and Mike and Serial, and we do a special on our channel. So we've done the Bitter Bugs together, which was a really fun panel about bug movies, and we did Transportation Terror about all kinds of vehicles in horror movies. So we have 2 parts on that. We went for 3 hours, so we split it into 2 parts. And coming out soon, we'll have our special episode, Sick Shit. So I'm excited about that. That's it.
I'm excited to record that one.
Me too.
That's gonna be fun. It's gonna be sick.
The bug episode is where we came up with today's idea.
Yes, that's right.
Exactly. That's how this all stemmed from. Didn't even know this movie existed because this was Mike, your suggestion, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This has been like months in the making.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm very excited to hear everyone's thoughts on this.
Me too.
Before we start, though, gonna hit up the chat here. Ryan Swayze is here as always.
Hey, Ryan.
Ryan. And he is doing the mod work. The mod work. He's got all the links in the chat for these awesome channels. So be sure to sub to our awesome guests. Thank you,
Ryan.
Thank you, Ryan.
All right. So I'll start with the cast and stuff.
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't see many fun facts on this movie. There was like a couple, but
That's incredibly surprising.
I'll drop a couple while we're chatting about it.
Okay.
This came out October 10th, 2017. Director is Ron Carlson. 4.9 on IMDb, 69% on Rotten Tomatoes. 69.
Perfect score.
Yeah. It has Sean Astin, Tom Arnold, Jake Busey, Sydney Sweeney, Rise Coiro, Cameron Richardson, Danny Woodburn, Michael Horse, Alicia Haley, and Joy Leah, Courtney Palm. Yeah. And description. Let me find one.
Wait, was that? Well, sorry, I'll ask that later.
That's okay.
Sorry.
Members of a metal band get a chance at a comeback when they are invited to perform at Coachella. When they become stranded in the desert, they have to fight for their lives against giant ants. What was your question?
I was like, you said Courtney Palm, and then I started thinking like she was in that movie, and I couldn't remember what she was, but then I remembered. So we'll talk about it. We'll definitely talk about that.
Okay. Yeah. I'm seeing a few known movies here.
Zombieverse.
Yeah, and Silent Night.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, Ryan, it's a super stacked cast.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, it is.
It honestly makes me wonder how this is such an underseen movie, considering everyone who's in it.
Right.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I know. You would think like people would talk about it a little more. I don't know.
Yeah, like the only time I ever saw it was when I was looking up the insect stuff, but I never got around to actually watching that one because I wanted to watch like the older stuff that like started the bug like subgenre. So like this one just flew right under my radar even then.
Yeah. Spoiler-free thoughts. What do you guys think of this movie? Bitter Wolf, you want to start? Isaiah?
I'll start. Yes, I'll start. No, I really liked it. I got a huge kick out of it from the very, very first scene. I had to immediately text all of you because I love the opening scene so much. And I think it's kind of uneven, but ultimately, like as a whole, I really enjoyed it.
All right, Mike.
Yeah, and I have to share those remarks because, well, you guys know that I really like this movie because I brought it up on every episode that we've done our collabs on. It just fit every single category that we did. But I got this movie in the horror pack. So they just send you like 5 movies every month. And there's usually some like a lot of indie movies and a lot of like $5 bin movies. And this was one of them. And I was like, well, I'll watch this because like you said, stacked cast. So I'm going to watch it. It sounded funny. And I went in with super low expectations. And while this is not like an amazing movie, I think entertainment-wise, it's hilariously great. I'm a huge fan of this movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Hey, Gory Tiger, what's up? Thanks for being here.
Gory Tiger. Ooh, I like that.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts? I'm waiting for this because I wasn't sure how you weren't making
I'm
much
curious.
motion when we were watching it last night.
I enjoyed the movie. I didn't enjoy how we watched it. So we streamed
Oh.
this. We streamed this for free on Plex.
A lot of hours.
Oh,
And
yeah.
it was like every 5 minutes there was a 3-minute advertisement, and it just took like an hour and 26 movie took 2 hours at least.
I fucking hate that. Yeah.
So
Rough.
yeah, and I don't remember it ever being that rough, but this was fucking rough for me.
Yeah.
Every time that would happen, I'd immediately get sucked out of the movie, and then I'd struggle to get back into it. And then by the time I did get back into it, there was the ad. So I'm not going to say I didn't have fun with it, and I'm not going to say I didn't like it. It's just that it was quite a hassle to watch this movie.
Yeah.
I honestly just wish I would have bought it.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
Mm-hmm.
I loved this movie. I was like chuckling on the couch, and every time I laughed, I'd look over and you weren't laughing with me. I'm like, God damn it. The fuck was this movie funny? I went in with pretty okay. I was trying to not go in with high expectations because Sydney Sweeney's my girl, but I had him kind of like middle because I'm like trying not to get too hyped for it because I know it's an ant movie and creatures aren't always my thing. But what it has going for me is I love music movies. Like I love Detroit Rock City. I love The Dirt. I love Almost Famous. So like the fact that this had all this in it, I was like, this is like my jam. I had a lot of fun with this.
Yeah. It was awesome.
Yeah, it was fun. And like a lot of the jokes landed, some didn't, but a lot of them did. Like funny group of characters. I love this going to Coachella synopsis.
Nocella.
Nocella. Oh my god.
Yeah, so good. So I'm just so shocked. Like we need to talk about this more. Like this has to be talked about more when horror comedies get brought up.
Yeah, I'll agree with that for sure.
Yeah. But yeah, with that, we're getting into spoilers, people. So, describe this movie in 3 words. Mike?
We'll go gross, hilarious, rockin'.
Damn it. I had rockin' as one of mine too, but it really was. It was like a rockin' fun time. Those were my 3 words. It's just a super fun movie.
Yeah. I went with just kind of like a fun phrase. I put sex, drugs, and rock and roll, but like rock and roll has to be like hyphenated here because like it's gonna be one thing.
I was debating on doing something like that too.
So that's my description.
Let me see. I got entertaining glam rock.
Ooh, yeah.
Love it.
Lots of wigs. Lots of good wigs.
Lots of wigs, lots of makeup. These guys are like they're
awesome.
Not like,
I love
yeah.
Eyeliner, loved it.
Yeah, they're very bands of the 80s, you know. They're very Motley Crue.
Yes.
It's so weird because it's like they're not really of the age to be from the 80s. So it's like, what era are you from? Because they're kind of like the generation after that, you know?
Yeah.
But we can get into that too.
Gonna say what's up to Davey here quick. Hey Davey.
Hey Davey Deathray.
Ryan's dropping Davey's link in the chat. Thank you. Favorite character?
That's a hard one. Do you want to take it, Mike?
I'm gonna go with, and I'm terrible at the names, but you know what? I gotta go with Gary Busey's character.
Jake Busey.
Jake Busey. Who's Gary Busey?
That's his
Not the
dad.
dad.
Oh,
Ginger Dead Man, Gary Busey.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, it's Gary Busey.
Same difference, same thing. They look the same.
So, Merrick.
yeah. I think he
Yeah.
just he really made the movie and did the glam rock part right.
Yeah.
I loved him.
Isaiah?
Absolutely. That's exactly who my favorite was too, Merrick.
Okay.
Because I just loved his performance is pretty subtle actually, which is surprising because he's like the lead singer of this glam rock band, but I think the subtlety works very well because a lot of his performance, like when he's doing the drugs, and he's listening to the song and he's crying, but somehow it's still funny, like it's like I think he pulls it off really well. He's so funny, but he also has tons of heart in that character. So I just love it. Yeah.
I went with him too. I thought he was hilarious and just like this big dummy. Like he reminds
Yeah.
me a little bit of Thad from Blue Mountain State, like where he
Mhm.
does all the high pitched things and he's just like dumb but like hilarious, and like he's so like oblivious to even the fact that like he's like in love with love and love is in love with everyone and he's so oblivious to it. It's just hilarious to watch. And I kind of put Love on the side as maybe my runner up just because she loves everyone. I'm like, yeah, you're funny.
Yeah.
I also went with Jake Busey's
Oh.
character. Yes, we have a clean sweep, and I agree
Yeah.
that this is like his subdued performance because, as you know, he has had some wild ones in the past. If you're familiar with his body of work, or his dad, I guess. But yeah, I really enjoyed his character. I loved how you just randomly like. He's subdued and then he'll just pop out and just be like, I'm gonna get these high pitched notes and it's gonna be awesome, and he nails the notes if that's actually him singing. So yeah, and he's the one that actually knows everything about the ants, from after watching
Exactly.
an episode of Jeopardy.
Can't even really call him a big dummy then.
Yeah, he just solved it.
Oh my god, he is so endearing in that. I just love him. But it's hard to pick because like all the actors are so good in this. The characters are very well developed, even if they're just kind of like simple. They do a really good job of developing all of them. So it's hard to choose because there's so many. Even like Sean Astin, who has a very short time in the movie, but he's so memorable in that short time. Yeah.
Yeah, I could not believe he was even in this. I'm like, that's Samwise Gamgee right there.
Yeah, he's from the Shire, as they say.
Yes.
He probably should have stayed there, or would have worked out better for him.
Yep.
Who's your guys' least favorite character?
I don't think I had a least favorite because, like, if there was anyone that I didn't like, it was because they weren't there long enough.
Okay.
But I really liked everyone's character. Like, even Tom Arnold, like, I thought he was hilarious, but he is always hilarious. But, like, really liked his character. I didn't have any least favorite character in this movie. I liked them all.
Okay.
That's kind of how I feel too. Even though if it was like going to hang out with that group of people in real life, Tom Arnold would probably be the person who would annoy me the most. I can't remember his name. Danny, I think was his name. And he's kind of a creep, of course. So it's like, but his character is still endearing, and Tom Arnold plays the character perfectly, and so you still love him anyway. So I can't think of one that I dislike either.
Yeah, I'm kind of in the same boat. Like, I couldn't really think of anyone. I would probably, if I had to be nitpicky, Tom Arnold as well, just because he is the creep. There's a couple times where like he annoyed me a little bit, but like for the most part, I thought he was pretty funny.
Yeah, if I were to say anybody, it'd probably be Tom Arnold too. And I don't know when Tom Arnold just switched to that type of. Did he always kind of play that weird, creepy character, or was there just like a time period switch where he became that caricature?
I'm not super familiar with his body of work, to be honest with you.
No.
I
I feel like he
swear.
had that kind of throughout his career. I'm sure there were some like spots where it wasn't as creepy, but I just like everything that I can think of him. I'm like, yeah, he's had those weird characters.
Yeah, like he's definitely had something happen to him in real life, and now he just owns it and just makes fun of himself in every movie. You know, like that's kind of how it feels like.
Maybe he's just really good at acting, Brenda. He found his character and he's playing it over and over. You know,
Yeah,
like he's just making the money.
yeah, like he's always been working. So, like, I don't know. I just got those feels from him, and he's always playing the same person. So he definitely nails it.
Best acting. Who had the best performance? I feel like we all might say the same thing based on how we described our favorite character, but if you guys want to go around and talk about it.
I mean, yeah, it's going to be the same. It's Jake Busey.
Yeah.
As Merrick. I think he just, again, he embodied what the movie was going for. And I think he did a great job.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And I also want to shout out Leisha Haley, who is, I can't remember her character's name in the movie now, but
Stevie.
Stevie, thank you. And I think she's also one of those actors who could be super subtle. Like whenever Love is doing her incantation when they first take the drugs, and like the way she's looking at Love during that scene is so funny because it's like she thinks she's stupid, but then she also is getting high at the same time. And it's so good. I just love her, and I'm a big fan of the L Word, and she was Alice in the L Word, and Alice was my favorite, so I just loved seeing her in this too.
Okay, I could second that. I thought her facial expressions were really good during that too.
Yeah,
but yeah, definitely. If I'm gonna pick, it's Busey.
Oh, I went with Sydney Sweeney actually.
Oh,
interesting.
Curveball.
I think she like nailed it.
Oh,
I thought she did a really good job. This is like one of her first movies, is it not?
Yeah, this is. I don't know if it's the first, but it's definitely one of her earliest roles.
Yeah, so
this is like my least favorite Sydney Sweeney performance.
I just thought she did a really good job. I thought she absolutely killed like being in the movie. Yeah, I was like, no wonder your career has jumped as far as it has.
Interesting. I'm obsessed with her, and I was a little disappointed with her character, personally. But anyway,
I just thought her scenes where she has to like cry and stuff like that was like top notch.
I think I've seen her cry in Euphoria. So she's a whole nother level in Euphoria.
Well, she's a whole different person in Euphoria.
That is true. Yeah.
She did nail her character in this movie. I mean, it was definitely believable, and she had a good dynamic with her friend as well. But I wish that they had. It was kind of weird whenever they just like showed up, and it was like mysterious whenever they showed up in the car, but then it was just them. They built it up like it was going to be this thing, and then it was just them. You know, so I was like, okay, they could have just come with them from the gas station, and we could have spent more time with Sydney Sweeney and getting to know her friend a little better. That was what I meant by it was a little uneven, but that's the only thing I have.
Okay. I just felt like they kind of brought them in just to have them as the ones killed off so that the band could survive till the end.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Gotta kill someone, but yeah. Anyway, we'll get into storyline and stuff later.
Oh shit! Sorry, I always jump the gun on these things.
That's okay. It happens. We can be all over the place. This is just a guideline. So best acting for you is Sweeney. Score and soundtrack.
I mean, amazing. I loved the soundtrack. I loved the music. Loved everything about it. I have honestly, funny enough, because what I think about this movie and like what I put on Letterboxd, the more I talk about it, I'm like, I really don't have bad notes on this movie at all. But no, score and sound, I think it was a really good job. And then once they got to where they got to play the music more, I was having a blast.
Yeah, I don't have anything negative to say at all. I thought it was just great. Even the sounds in the desert, it made me miss the times whenever I've been out in the desert at night listening to the sounds of nature. So I liked that a lot. And I was really high too when I watched this movie. So it was just, I was feeling it with them when they were out there and feeling the music for sure. Love the music in this movie. I wish it was peyote. The sun or the moon, either way, give both of them to me.
Both at the same time.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, the music was probably one of my favorite parts of this movie. Just so rock and roll. Even the funny songs too, like that side boob song.
Mhm.
Oh my god.
Yes.
So funny. And then the dead ant.
Oh, I love
that.
that.
So funny too. Yeah, nothing bad to say about the music in this.
Yeah, no, I agree. It's totally rock and roll. I really wish that we got to I really wish I got to hear like more clearly the song at the end that saves the day. Because it actually sounded like a pretty sweet song.
Yeah.
I also the end credits too. The first song at the end is the side boob song, but it's actually done like a rock and roll song.
Yeah.
And I thought it was pretty well done as well. So
at first I was like, oh, the song's like pretty good. Like when he was singing about the cola and whatever. And then he says areola. I'm like, oh, this is going in that direction.
Yeah, that's what I thought too.
Exactly.
Oh, good.
That was great.
The comedic timing on this, like, it was just perfect.
Yeah. I'm so glad you kept recommending this movie, Mike, because it's like sometimes people will bring up a movie and you'll be like, that sounds really good. Put it in the watch list and I'll watch it 5 years from now. But because you kept talking about it so passionately.
Well, I'm also glad you guys really liked it because of how much I was kept bringing it up and like, yeah, we should do this. And then I'm like, what if no one likes this movie and it's just me?
But who cares? It's
I
like
was scared of.
Yeah.
Because sometimes a horror comedy doesn't slap like this does. So I was like, please be good.
Well, I mean, it might make for a semi-awkward panel if you're the only person who liked it, but at least you got people to watch a movie. I think that's the most important part of this.
Yeah, definitely. We'll get into cinematography. Just gonna shout out to Ryan. Hey, Ryan.
What's up, Ryan?
Thanks for being here. All right, Mike, cinematography.
Well, I liked it because I think it did a really good job for what they were going for with the ants and stuff. Like, I loved the shots of when they kept getting bigger and bigger. It did remind me of the 50s style creature feature when it's the bugs and stuff. I like the way this looked throughout the entire movie. Obviously, like a lot of CGI in this, but I really liked the way that this looked. I liked seeing the ants, and again, because they're bigger, I can actually like see it without getting grossed out. But yeah, no, I like this movie. I like the way it looked. I like the cinematography.
Yeah,
for sure. I totally agree, and especially about the callback to the 50s. Like the very opening scene, especially has that feeling with the most giant ant of all, and the is that a practical effect look on the close-up shot of the giant ant? I think that was like one of the only practical ones because most of them were CGI, but it looked pretty good.
Yeah,
I think the cinematography is pretty good for this movie. I don't think it's like groundbreaking or anything. Yeah, the cinematography. This movie actually reminds me a lot of like Big Ass Spider. Just like kind of like tonally different, but it's kind of like it's a B movie made modern with a new twist on it. So it's like a satire the whole time. So it's good, but I'm not even talking about cinematography. But yeah, I think it looks good.
Yeah,
for its budget.
Yeah, same. It even says on like one of the posters that it's like Tremors meets something else. So the atmosphere really reminds me of Tremors. Yeah, that's all I got. Costumes and outfits.
Perfect.
Yeah, great.
Like for me, absolutely perfect. Because you do have the glam rock people and they did a great job looking like a glam rock metal band. And then you had Sydney Sweeney's character and her friend look like they're going to Coachella/No-Chella.
Yeah. And Love, who looks really like hippie, right?
Yeah, all of their looks are fantastic, and the wigs are my absolute favorite thing in this costume, the whole costumes, because it's like they fit them, but again, they're just like kind of off a little, like especially Sean Astin's. It's kind of like they just threw it on his head. I kind of love that.
His wig was rough, but it was funny.
Yeah, exactly. And so is Leisha Haley, so they put him in the car together. So I thought that was perfect. And it just adds to the humor. And seeing Jake Busey with that wig on is one of the funniest things ever. And the fact that his wig is so long, it kind of matches how long and straight his teeth are too. It's like the classic Gary Busey chompas. So I think it's brilliant costuming.
I agree with all of that. I guess I'll just point out the one hat that says "sucks to suck" on it. I thought that was
fun. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean they nailed the 80s look. They're like got like the black eyeliner on. Jake Busey's got like a bandana, and then the guitarist has like, I don't know. I want to say they're like supposed to be leather pants, but they're like bright red leather pants, as tight as could possibly be. Yeah, I think. And then there's Tom Arnold, who's just like wearing like just the most standardized outfit possible for like an agent. So, they definitely all fit.
Yeah.
Did you guys write down any memorable lines?
I did.
Yeah.
Did you, Mike?
I did not write any memorable lines down.
That's okay.
I didn't either. It's okay.
Okay, just me and Isaiah then.
Okay, we'll rattle them off here. I'll go.
Yeah.
Whenever they're in the car after they've gone to buy the peyote, the sun or the moon, I can't remember which one they ended up with. But anyway, they're talking about smoking weed or something and doing drugs. And Sean Astin says, "Oh, I'm from the Shire, but I've never danced with the sun before." So I thought that was a nice little reference there to Lord of the Rings. You want to go next?
Sure. I have, that'll be $20. Just the way it was delivered when he was buying the drugs, I thought was so funny. It just like came out of nowhere because he's like talking about the drugs and stuff. And he's just like, that'll be $20.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he's doing this whole like spiritual enlightenment talk,
so
and
it's
then
just jarring.
Yeah, it'll be $20.
I love that. Let's see. I wrote some of these down, but now I don't remember what the context was because I wrote them down when I was really high, and I thought they were super funny then, and now I'm like, what does that mean? Here's one. This is the stuff that inspired Kurt Cobain. Yeah, let's hope you have a different outcome.
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of like, but also funny.
I chuckled at that.
I did hear you laugh at that part. Yeah. I'm not creepy. Proved it in the court.
Oh yeah. That's perfect.
He just says things so quick and like.
Yeah, I think that Tom Arnold must have been improvising a lot of those lines, those really fast ones that he rattles off. Because what actually comes right before that line that you just said, I wrote down as one of my quotes. So it's perfect. It's where is it? Oh yeah, you're goddamn right. It's serious shit. Talking about that song, the ballad or whatever. You're goddamn right. It's serious shit. And Pedro here is going to rip a solo at that festival that'll make your panties roll down your legs, walk across the floor, and fold itself in the corner.
So good.
What does that even mean? Fold itself in the corner. I love
that. We've been through so much worse. This shit happens every day in rock and roll.
Oh yeah. Oh, I wrote that one down too. Actually,
Did you?
This happens every day in rock and roll.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
Let's see. Oh, Art. Whenever he's walking back into the camp covered in ants, and then he falls down, and they're like trying to save him, and then Tom Arnold turns around and he just goes, "Fuck Art," and then they leave. I love that. Oh, I have another one from that. What was his name? It was Bigfoot and Firecracker. So Firecracker said, or Bigfoot said, "We need to prepare." And Firecracker said, "I'll get the bazooka."
I thought that came out of like left field. That was so funny.
Yeah.
He walks over and tries to pick it up.
Yeah.
You should carry it.
Oh my god.
So good.
Do you have any others, Sam?
No, just the Dead Ant where they all start singing Dead Ant to the
Oh,
song. I just thought it was funny.
that was
That's all.
fantastic.
I just
Oh,
thought of one
this-
that stood
Oh,
out.
go ahead. Yeah.
When they were doing the thing, he goes, "No power ballads. I just said that. I just said that. No power ballads ever."
This movie, like, you could write down almost every other line. Like, it's so
There's,
like,
there's so many great.
Yeah.
many great lines.
so good.
I have one more. It was talking about Sydney Sweeney's friend who passed away. Who passed away. Who died. It's weird to say who passed. Lisa was her name. Tom Arnold said, "She was a good kid. She'll be missed. We'll dedicate a song to her at Nocella. Listen, it's horrible, but it's mesmerizing." Talking about the fire. She's probably fine.
We'll dedicate a song to her.
Yeah.
Oh, so good. Did you have any more?
No, that's my last one.
Okay. Did you have any lines disliked? I didn't write anything. Okay. Favorite kill.
Ooh.
I'm gonna say Sean Astin's character because it was the most like gross, and I liked the way that it looked because it kept going. Like they showed him quite a while enough, and then with all of them on him, I just liked the way that it looked and how long it took for him to actually die, and then just kind of the funniness around it, like the fact that they were like trying to save him and then they're like, "Shh, fuck this shit."
Yeah.
Fuck
So
fuck
long
art.
and drawn out.
Yeah, that's technically my favorite one too, because I just thought it was gnarly. And the first time you see him covered in ants is pretty shocking because you don't see a lot of what happens in between him getting bit and peeing on the ant and getting the curse started, and then the ants covering him. So it's like kind of shocking, and you're like, "Ooh, that's kind of sick." And then it only gets worse for him from there. So I think it's kind of gnarly what happens to him, and the rest are more comical deaths, I guess. So that's definitely my favorite. But my favorite comical. It's not a death because he survives, but it's whenever Tom Arnold loses his hands, and then he joins them on stage at the end and is clapping.
Clapping his
Yeah.
nubs.
And that's also a good sound effect too, because they like switch, and then, that's so gross. I love
See
that.
the CGI blood just going.
Yeah.
It's like I don't even hate the CGI at that point because it's just too fucking funny.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh. What about you? Favorite kill?
I'll probably go with Sydney Sweeney's friend.
The fire.
Yeah.
Oh
where
yeah.
She accidentally kind of cooks herself.
Yeah. What was her name again? I got the cast sheet
I think
here.
they said Lisa.
Lisa.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Lisa.
She looked familiar too. I couldn't place what she'd been in.
Yeah, she did.
She reminded me a little of Alexandra Shipp from Tragedy Girls.
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
It's been a minute since I've seen that, but okay.
Was it her?
No.
No, I don't recognize anything
Yeah.
she's in.
She just looks familiar.
Oh, that's okay. Yeah, I haven't seen her.
I'm torn between. I'll bring up both since I'm the last one to go. I was torn between Sam, Sydney Sweeney, falling in the hole, and then he goes, "Only the good die young."
Oh yeah.
He's just so nonchalant about everything.
It is.
But then also another one is one of the ants getting killed, actually, where he's like killing the ant with the guitar and then he sprays the bug spray and then afterwards he's like playing the air guitar in the car. I just
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I love that scene. Least favorite kill?
I don't think I have one. I think like it's just a fun time. There's no like bad kill.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think so either. I mean, I think all the kills have some entertaining factor to them. So, and they're pretty unique, you know.
Yeah. I'm going to go with the guy in the porta potty because he gets like kind of the porta potty is like shaken and he's freaking out in the porta potty. And you kind of think like, ooh, that's going to be a nasty kill because he's like the porta potty is going to tip on him and stuff. But really, he literally just gets kicked away. So I was just expecting a little more from it, I think. That's just like a random one that I could think of.
Okay. Is that the director?
Oh, I don't know.
Because that dude looks like a guy on YouTube who's made some low budget indie films.
He is. So his name's Sean C. Phillips, and he's actually the reason why I subscribed to the Horror Pack, because he was a big pusher of that. And he's in a lot of very like low budget indie films, and now he's been directing and producing them as well.
Yeah, because he did Desert Fiends, right?
Yes.
Yeah, him. Okay. I know who you're talking about. He also did Amityville Karen or something.
That sounds correct.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it, but
yeah, I started watching him on YouTube because he did a lot of like Blu-ray finds, and he would go doing searches for Blu-rays and stuff. That's how I found out about him, and then he just started doing more directing and acting.
Okay.
I've probably seen some of his stuff if I look at it.
I feel like you would have.
Let me say. I mean,
definitely.
You saw my eyes. My eyes blew up whenever she said Amityville Karen. I was like, "Whoa, Christmas came early."
Definitely in the realm of movies you would watch.
Yeah.
Did you have a least favorite kill? Did you say one?
Yeah, no, I don't really have a least favorite kill. I think they're all pretty good.
Gore factor and special effects.
I'm going to say it's great because, again, we know what type of movie this is. We weren't expecting great practicals. And honestly, for it being CGI heavy, again, because of the type of movie that we're watching, not once did it bother me. Not once was I like, this is like super fake look. Like, obviously, we're watching killer ants in a metal horror movie. I enjoyed it. I didn't find any issues with it. And the gore factor for me, I did like it. I thought that they, even with the cheesy like CGI blood splattering, like when he's clapping his nubs, like I thought I had a fun time with all the gore and effects.
Yeah, me too. I have nothing to add to that really because Mike said it all. I just thought it was really enjoyable. Yeah.
I'm in the same boat. It's cheesy and like that's fine for this movie. One other thing is when he's tripping and she's got like that third eye and it's just like flapping and blinking.
Oh yeah.
I actually said to Brendan while we were watching it, I was like, this would be a good shroom movie.
Yeah,
to do that one time.
Yeah, would be.
Ooh, we should do a shroom panel sometime.
Are we talking about shroom movies or are we on shrooms?
That's why I was like, what? I don't understand how the panel's working, but
yeah. Well, when we're on shrooms during it, you definitely won't be understanding it either. So have you seen Shrooms, the horror movie?
Yes.
Yeah.
We watched it while we were on shrooms.
Yeah. I actually didn't love it. I would kind of like to revisit it, I think.
I didn't like it either.
Yeah, I was right. What's his name from Game of Thrones is in that, right? I can't remember that guy's name. The evil kid from Game of Thrones.
Oh,
Joffrey?
I don't even
Joffrey?
remember.
Yeah. He's in that movie actually. That was like one of his early movies. Yeah.
Okay.
I didn't know he did anything else.
Yeah, didn't that movie come out in like the early 2000s?
Yep.
How old is he? Because he still looks like a child in Game of Thrones.
Yeah, but Game of Thrones started.
No, he
so
started.
long ago.
I mean, he was in
Did it?
Batman Begins when he was a child.
Yeah, I remember watching it when I lived in Cambridge, and I was like in my early 20s.
Maybe I'm just dead. Oh, I guess it did start in like
It's been
2012,
like
didn't
over
it?
a decade.
Yeah.
I think
Okay.
it started in like 2009 or something.
Yeah, because I remember watching 2 seasons while I was in Peterborough, and that would have been 2012.
Yeah.
Okay. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Time flies.
Yeah,
Old.
time is fucking wild.
Core Factor special effects. Got any thoughts?
Yeah, you know what? If you can't get into the CGI and stuff after the first 10 minutes, that's kind of on you. You know what I mean? Like, if you cannot like this movie in the first 10 minutes, then you should probably just shut this movie off because it will not be for you. Because the CGI does not get any better. It doesn't get any worse by any means. But yeah, it definitely feels like a, I don't know, PlayStation 2 video game cutscene. Which is fine because I actually think it works well for this movie. So yeah, the blood splatter is the blood splatter, like the CGI blood splatter. It's fine. You know, I think if you could have done these things practically, you probably should have. But I guess in the add of the ridiculousness of it, you want a bigger blood splatter than what you could probably do practically with like the hand clapping or the nub clapping at the end of the movie. Like I don't think you could have done that properly with practical effects to make it so outrageous.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I think they suit the movie.
Okay.
We'll say.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah, that's good.
Storyline and pacing.
Great storyline. I like how they intertwined the spiritual stuff, the glam rock of it all, and then also just like it is a older band trying to stay relevant and find their second wind while battling freaking ants, gigantic ants. I think there was a little, and again, even though it wasn't that long ago, it was long enough where, like, obviously we know throughout horror, they touch a little too close. They walk the line a little too closely of like cultural appropriation when they try to do certain movies. We saw what they were going with, and I don't think it was like anything too outrageously bad or offensive, but definitely like walking lines there. But storyline, loved this, and then pacing, perfect for me because and kind of what you both were saying. One, if you can't get into this movie within the first 10 minutes, shut it off. And I think that's a perfect way to say it, not just for the CGI, but like, I think that first opening scene kind of sets the tone for the entire movie from how silly it is. Cause like how Sam, you mentioned earlier, the line delivery of like, and that'll be $20. Like, cause at first it's sort of a serious, like, spiritual journey, and then they just hit you with a little bit of comedy right there, and I think it just sets the tone how this movie plays out.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah.
Exactly. Perfectly said. I think it. Literally, my only critique was the one that I mentioned earlier with how they did the storyline with Sydney Sweeney and Lisa's characters. But everything else I thought was beautifully done. And I thought all of the characters were very well developed in that time. And you don't usually see characters who are that strong in a movie about giant ants, to be honest with you. You know, so I thought that was really nice. And it moves along at a fair pace, you know, even in the beginning when they're going through with the character development, they're just rattling off one-liners or Tom Arnold's improvising, or you're just getting to know their characters through their funny interactions. So it goes really fast. And then before you know it, Sean Astin's stumbling into camp, and then things are moving along. So I think it has a nice pacing to it.
Yeah. I'm just going to say what's up to Bo here quick. Hey, Bo, definitely
Hey,
check
Bo.
it out. Ryan's got Bo's link there in the chat. Thank you, Ryan. Yeah, I think for this movie, like I can't judge the pacing because of the outrageous ad scenario we had, so I'm not going to comment on that until I do a rewatch because the pacing in our case was terrible, but that's because of the ads. But as for storyline, like this was the perfect storyline for me, like a band going to find drugs out in the desert and just fight giant ants. Like, it's hilarious. I like that there's like the no breaking the rules. And yeah, like you said, if you can't get into it in the first 10 minutes, it literally starts with a girl running from an ant and ripping her clothes off, which I'm going to bring up. My one fun fact that I have is she wasn't supposed to take her clothes off. It was the actress's idea to start stripping them off.
Of course she did. That's
thank you for her.
I love Courtney Palm for that reason. That's not my only reason, but it's great. Yeah.
I looked at Brendan laughing and I was like, oh, what is the purpose of her doing this? And I'm like, doesn't matter.
Honestly, yeah, because I thought the same thing when especially on the rewatch, I'm like, I don't understand this purpose at all, because you're slowing yourself down.
Yeah.
It's doing nothing to the ant whatsoever. But now that I realize who it is and stuff, I'm like, you know what? She probably saw like, this is really nothing of a role at all. How do I make this a memorable role?
Frida titties.
Who is this actress?
What's her name?
Courtney Palm.
Yeah.
And you said she's from Zombievers, right?
In Zombievers,
yeah.
And she's in Silent Night. I think she's the wood chipper girl, right?
In Silent Night, yes, that's right.
Yeah, she runs naked. She was doing the porn thing in the motel room. Yeah,
and she takes her top off in Zombievers too. So there you go.
Yeah,
she just does it, bringing the 80s back.
She just does it.
I love it.
Put her in more movies.
Free the booby.
That's what I'm saying. But that opening scene is so crazy. It's like this is just. I was like, is she really gonna take off literally everything? Like, it was so good. I just like, okay. Sorry, go ahead, Brendan.
For me, yeah, the pacing was really rough yesterday. Trying to watch this movie, I had a really hard time getting into it.
That's on Plex.
Yeah,
or us for watching it on Plex. That's not on Plex.
I recommend don't watch this on Plex, and just try to find a cheap DVD or Blu-ray of this movie if it did come out in those formats. Yeah, I like the story. I think it's simple. I think it's very simple, but the characters and actors definitely can get you invested in what's going on in the movie. I didn't really take any notes either. That's why I might sound disjointed in all my thoughts, because I didn't take a single note, because I'm like, every time I start to get into it, the ad comes up and then I just stopped writing, and I'm like, this is just awful.
Yeah.
But the movie's not awful. It's just the ads were awful. So yeah, I think it's a good horror comedy, to be honest. The pacing may have been really good. It just wasn't good for me at the time.
Okay. All right.
Oh, can I say? I just want to say one thing about the storyline that I totally took an issue with, and that was they're driving around an RV, and as someone who drives around a van with a lot of stuff in the back that you have to take off the shelves to make sure it doesn't go flying around everywhere, you have to tape it down or something. They were on that road going pretty fast. And they had fifths of vodka and whiskey and shit sitting on all their counters everywhere. And I was like, they're not moving at all. It's just perfectly smooth. I love that for them.
Hey, Bo just bought it.
Hey.
For $9.
Nice.
We're gonna buy it too in just 1 second. We'll get into some favorite scenes.
Okay.
Beautiful.
Mike?
Favorite scenes. Honestly, there are so many. Obviously, and we've referenced it a few times. I think one of the most, if you had to tell anybody about this movie and say a certain scene, I think you got to talk about the opening of her running, giant ant, titties flying, everything flying. And then
Everything's
also,
flying.
and then honestly, I like the scene where they do start first battling the ants and everything's going down. It wasn't my favorite kill, but then when we started getting to Lisa's death because she's trying to fight back and then unfortunately just is the cause of her own demise by trying to beat the ants and the explosion and all that. I thought that was a fun time. Desert chaos is always a good time in horror.
Yeah. I really felt bad for Lisa, to be honest with you. Like, even though it was her fault, it's like, come on, but it's like she's trying to save herself. You can't blame her for getting it all over herself. Like, I would do the same thing if I was in that situation, panicking. I wouldn't be a superstar. So I think her death is sad too, in addition to being funny. But what were we on? Favorite
scenes.
That's right. I love the opening scene. I love the ending scene is amazing. With the fighting back against the against the ants, and all of the ants are closing in, and it's like, oh, it's now or never, or they're going to kill us, and the ants are getting bigger. But they find the magic of metal and saves the day. So, and I just love Jake Busey hitting those high notes. That's like the icing on the cake. So I think that's my personal favorite scene, even though I love a lot of scenes in this movie.
Okay.
I'm gonna go with anything to do with who's it? Firecracker and
Bigfoot.
Bigfoot.
I love how they're just two polar opposites, but they get along so well. And their comedic timing between the two of them is also comic gold. Like Bigfoot's speeches throughout the whole thing are just like dead serious and stuff too. He's like, well, I don't. When Samwise there is like, well, I don't have that much cash on me. I just got card. That's okay. And just pulls out the credit card machine to buy drugs, and I'm like, oh yeah. And he's like, oh yes. They're in
the middle of nowhere at this shack.
Something about not tipping after.
Yeah. There's a 10% service charge fee, and then there's a tipping service as well. Oh my god, that made me laugh. I really liked it. And then Sam brought up the bazooka, him trying to go for the bazooka but couldn't. Yeah.
They were a great part of this movie.
Yeah.
I really like Love's speech where they all start tripping and she's just like going on this like spiritual speech and everyone is just having completely different reactions to it. Like the one guy is just like yeah, and then the one chick is just like, what the fuck? Just so good. And then there was one scene where Bigfoot says something, he says, don't step on them. And then they look down and there's like a bunch of ants there on an apple or something. I thought that part was funny. But yeah, the ending is so good. Also the scene where you find out that they're going to Coachella was so good because in the synopsis, I read the synopsis and it says they're going to Coachella. So that's what I was like fully expecting. And then the fact that they're going to Coachella is just so funny.
Yeah.
And sorry, I keep going on. The ending where you realize that they're like at the security guards at the festival and there's actually going to be a festival scene. I'm like, I thought of that one, it's a fire festival or whatever it was, because all the ants are coming. I'm like, this is going to end up like Fire Festival, just horrible with the documentary. Like,
Fire Festival.
It's a festival that went really, really wrong to the point that there's a whole documentary on it on Netflix.
Okay, well, like what happened?
Oh, just a lot of really bad organizing.
Fraud.
No.
To the point of
criminal fraud.
Yeah,
he went to
that
jail
too.
for like 4 years. Yeah.
Right.
Oh, okay. I thought maybe it was attacked by a bunch of ants or something.
Oh,
I wish.
They set up.
No.
Set up on colonies of fire ants or something.
No.
I think it's supposed to be a huge festival. A bunch of people pre-ordered their tickets and everything, and it was basically nothing. There was just tents, and there was no entertainment. There was no anything that was supposed to be there. It was just
they gave them
for people
cheese sandwiches on white bread. They gave them Like that's what I mean. The
Brutal.
tickets were thousands of dollars. It was like supposed to be super luxurious, not just the music festival. It was insane.
People died, I think.
Oh,
Yeah,
I
I
did
thought
not know
that
that.
happened too. Bo says he might have bought the last copy. I still see one on Amazon. Maybe we have to order it and then see who ends up getting it.
Not the fight over Dead Ant.
Yeah. Did anyone else have any other scenes they want to bring up before we move on?
Oh, I have a scene. Or there's two moments with Jake Busey where Merrick is. It's like when they first get to the camp and they're setting up camp, and the only person who's taken drugs so far is Sean Astin, I think. But Merrick gets up on a rock, and he just goes. You remember he goes, "I want a rock," and then later, after he takes drugs, he gets on the higher rock, and then he does it again and jumps off the rock. He's like, "I could fly," or something.
Yeah,
And then
rock
just,
gods can fly.
Oh, yeah.
I wanted
just
to
like,
bring that. I
Oh,
wanted to bring that up in storyline because I completely forgot about it. That
It
rock
hurt.
looked way higher than it actually was, I guess, because like he like hurt his knee or whatever. But like it looked like that was gonna be his death. Like I thought
he was dead. Yeah.
I thought that was it. Like he's done.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I think he's really tall too, right? So like it might add to the height of the rock.
But it definitely like snapped his shin or something. Whoa, it
Yeah.
looked like it hurt. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good one. I'm glad you brought that up. Any least favorite scenes? I don't have any.
I don't. I like the whole movie.
Any thoughts on the killer, which I guess would be the ants killers?
I loved them. They did nothing wrong.
They were-
No.
People were told what to do, and
Yeah.
it's
I mean-
just humans were being humans.
Didn't follow the rules.
Mm-hmm.
Mike said it. I mean, Michael Horse warned them beforehand. If you so much as hurt a fly out in the desert, you're going to be cursed from sunup to sundown or whatever it was. So he literally told him, and then Sean Astin decided to piss on the ant and drown it or something. Is that what happened? And so you get what you deserve, unfortunately.
Okay. All right. Scary rating out of 10. 10 being the scariest movie you've ever seen. 1 being not scary at all. What would you rate this?
I'm gonna give it a 1 because it wasn't scary. And to the point, because you guys already know how I feel about bugs. So the fact that this is like such an entertaining movie to me means there was no issue whatsoever.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, it has to be a 1. There's nothing scary in this movie whatsoever.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, definitely.
Rewatchability, and would you recommend?
Rewatchability, honestly, because I told you guys about it. I think I've had already seen it 2 or 3 times. And I rewatched it for this. Yeah, rewatchability is high because I actually think I like it a lot more this time around and appreciate it even more than I did when I first saw it. Rewatchability is high, and obviously I would recommend it. That's why we're here.
Yeah. Yep. Isaiah?
And I thank you so much for recommending it because the rewatchability is high. I liked it the first time. I watched it again in preparation, so I could watch it first to watch it, and then I watched it again to take my notes. But I loved it the second time. So rewatchability is high. Recommend it. Yeah, first 10 minutes for everybody, like Brendan suggested, and Sam suggested as well. And then if you don't like it, then there you go. That's up to you.
Yeah. I agree. I would totally rewatch this. We just need to get a copy of it.
I think you guys should definitely rewatch this one based off of the whole Flex situation.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I definitely would like a rewatch of this movie for sure in the near future without any ads.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah,
we're gonna get more people to watch it.
Yeah, and then this would be like a good like having some friends over and watching a silly movie, right? So
Yeah.
I definitely recommend this movie. Like this seems like a Matt and Jess At
Yeah.
least a Matt movie for sure.
Yeah.
From Surreal Studios on Instagram. Because he loves these types of movies, like another like Wolf Cop and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
yeah, I would recommend, and I would absolutely rewatch this movie.
Okay. Final movie rating as a whole. I'm excited to see what everyone's ratings are. Out of 5, what would you rate this movie?
You know, I'm gonna have to change my rating off after all this talk because think I gave it a 3.5. Just for like it being a fun time. But the more I talk about it, and obviously again, it's not like anything earth-shattering, groundbreaking, like amazing movie, but for a horror comedy, it's hitting all the right notes. And this whole entire time, I have not been able to say one bad thing. So I think for horror comedy, we're pushing it up to a 4.5 out of 5.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
What did I give it? I think I gave it a 3.5 as well. But that was the first time. I didn't go back and rate it again after I watched it the second time. And as I said, I liked it better the second time. Oh, I gave it 4 stars the first time. So the second time I'll have to boost it up, and I'll do that was my Jake boosting moment. Sorry. I'll do 5 stars for me. Yeah.
Wow.
Oh.
I thought
Yeah.
I was going to be the one going too high here because I gave Shredder like a 4-star. I freaking love that stuff.
I did too.
Yeah, I think this is getting a 4-star for me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going 3.
I knew that was coming. I knew
I
he was gonna come down a little bit.
Yeah, I'm just doing 3 just
Three's
because
good.
I just kept getting disconnected from the movie.
Yeah.
Then having to try to reconnect. So this is just it's just a 3 based on how we watched it. I'm probably just rating Plex a 3, not actually the movie. And that's pretty generous.
Maybe.
Plex.
Okay. Yeah. I don't have any fun facts, so that's really it.
Oh, okay.
Bo says I'm excited to check it out when it shows up tomorrow. Yes, let us know your thoughts.
Yeah, absolutely.
I watch he's gonna hate it.
I feel like Bo might like this movie.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna hype it up for him.
If you're someone who likes the silly movies, I think it would be really hard to find something not to like about this movie.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Now, if you don't like you said, movies like Another Wolf Cop or Velocipaster, don't watch this. If those are not your thing, don't watch this. But if they are, I don't see how you would not like this movie.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I would almost say even like Deathgasm or like
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah,
or like
Death Gasm.
Piranha 3D.
yes. Yeah, actually. Vibes.
Why isn't Rob in this chat? This would be a good Rob movie.
Yeah, it would be.
Yeah.
Hopefully he catches the replay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Bo says I love metal and like Sharknado and Wolf Cop. There you go.
Yeah, you'll like this movie. You'll like this movie.
If you can get through the entire Sharknado series, which I have the whole thing and I love it, this is a movie you should be able to get into.
Yeah,
Awesome.
absolutely.
Ryan is dropping your links in the chat already. Do
you,
you
Ryan.
guys want to talk
Thank
about
you,
your
Ryan.
channels and what you got coming up before we go?
Mike?
Sure. Again, so for Rise from the Dead, we actually, my 2 co-hosts, I wasn't able to make it, but they just put out our interview with, I believe it's Oren Black. They did a short film that was coming out of Horror Hound Weekend, so they got to interview him, and then we will be working on our summer series where we are going to do some underrated summer slashers. I picked one, so that should be coming up relatively soon. And then for Voices from the Mausoleum, I have an interview coming out tomorrow for Found Footage Fridays, where I interviewed Chris Vanderkay, the director of 2024's Ask, as well as the creator of the amazing thing. If you follow me on any socials, you know I've been promoting the heck out of this on Found TV. There's a new docuseries for Found Footage called Found Footage Finds, where I am actually in the second episode for a little smidge of a time. And he produced, created, starred in it. It's amazing. Each episode talks about a subcategory of found footage film. So the first episode is dedicated to Bigfoot found footage films. The second episode is dedicated to screen life. And it's got a lot of fun facts, history, recommendations, expert testimonials, etc. I love this docuseries. So the interview is with him, and that drops tomorrow on Voices from the Mausoleum YouTube channel.
Awesome. I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, I'm going to look up this because Found TV is free, right?
It's ad supported. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm going to look up this series, this found footage series.
Yeah, because found footage isn't really a hit for us all the time. So it'd be cool to like see some options, some recommendations.
Yeah. Like I got Willow Creek because like that's a found footage Bigfoot movie, if I'm correct. Yeah. But I've never actually sat down and watched it.
I think each episode has like outside of the what we verbally are recommending, because he has like a little screen on the side that's just randomly showing other movies that maybe aren't being talked about. So there's like each episode has like I want to say even close to 50 titles to look through.
Wow.
Okay,
that's awesome. Cool.
Yep. I have to second what Mike is saying. I got to watch the second episode that Mike's in. So, Mike, you did a great job in your TV debut. So, congratulations! And it's a wonderful series. Chris Vanderkay is just an endless fountain of knowledge in found footage and in horror, and he is able to connect the dots so well. And not only does he give you dozens of recommendations, the show itself is found footage styles. It's really cool to watch. It's engaging. And he has lots of filmmakers in every episode coming to talk about movies that they've done or that they like. So it's really, really good to watch. What was it? Screen Life was the episode that Mike was in. Yeah. And so they talked about Michelle Iantuano, who did Live Screamers, which is an amazing found footage film. And she did Live Scream as well. And I'm going to be writing about Michelle for horrorfam.com. Which is one of the places that I write about. I write about independent horror filmmakers. It's a bi-monthly or every other month. I don't know if that's right, bi-monthly. But anyway, it's every other month I profile an indie horror filmmaker. So I'm doing Michelle Iantuano for my July one. And on the Bitter Wolf, we have Horror Mosaic coming up. Horror Mosaic 21 with Ben Paul Robinson, who's the co-screenwriter of movies like T-Blockers, So Vam, with Alice Mae McKay. So he's from Australia, and we got to talk about his movies and his writing work. And then after that, it'll be Misty Talley, the director of Santa Jaws and Mississippi River Sharks, Ozark Sharks, and lots of other movies. She was the first female director on Sci-Fi Channel. So I think it's a great one. So that's coming out for the 22nd. And then Transportation Terror Part 2 is coming out this week with my good friends Sam and Brendan and Mike. And we'll have Sick Shit coming out after that.
Yes. Awesome.
Oh, and I'll come out with an episode on 5 influential horror with Angel from Voices from the Mausoleum. That should be next week, I think.
Yeah. Yes. And then we'll have to get you two on it as well.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. Always down. Mm-hmm. All right. What do we got going on? Tomorrow for channel members, we have a video coming out where we talked some horror news as well as did some spoiler-free thoughts on Bring Her Back.
Yep.
And then as for live streams, we've got on June 11th. What day is that? I don't know. June 11th.
Wednesday, right?
Wednesday. Okay. We're going to be talking Texas Chainsaw Massacre 03 with Mark Loves Horror. And then the next night we are doing top 10 steamy horror movie scenes with That Horror Couple. Kaylee and Robbie are coming on. And then yours and Bo's Scream Factory physical media battle is going to be that Saturday night. So not this Saturday, but next.
Yep.
This weekend, we're hoping to put out a review on Dangerous Animals.
Yes, we are.
Maybe do a physical media count on Sunday. We'll see.
Yeah, I forgot him off.
Yeah, we'll see what we're up to. But yeah, thanks for coming on, guys.
Yeah, thank you guys so much.
Thank you for having us.
Yay, thank you. It's always so much fun.
Yeah, this
Yes.
was a blast. I'm so happy that we got to actually watch this movie and talk about it.
Yeah, me too.
I am too. I'm like super excited that I got more people to see this. And honestly, after this, I'm like on a mission to get people to keep watching this because I'm
Yes.
still very shocked at how underseen this movie is because I've rarely ever heard anyone talk about this movie.
I'm definitely going to be
Yeah.
recommending it to people when I think of horror comedies now.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Yep. Brilliant.
And thanks to everyone that tuned in the chat tonight. Lots of people saying bye here. Yeah.
Bye, guys.
Hope everyone has a great night.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.